and start taking questions for Coach Capel. Jim Hammett, you were first.
Jeff, obviously Eddie Lampkin's been a load the past couple games, and obviously you guys saw that. What do you guys need to do to kind of neutralize him in this second meeting?
Yeah, we have to block him out. May have to do it with a couple of guys. He dominated the glass against us, dominated the game from an offensive rebounding perspective. So we have to do a better job with that.
Next question, Dominic Campbell.
Coach, how does a game like Miami, just getting back on track in terms of winning, just get you back in terms of where you want to be mentally and emotionally heading into this last stretch of the season?
Yeah, well, it was one game, just like the other ones were that we lost. We move on from it. Certainly, it felt good to win. I was really happy for the players, really happy for them to be able to step up with some adversity. And we did some good things. Hopefully we can build on it. But just like when we lose, we try to learn from it. We try to get better and we move on. So it's the same thing.
Jerry, go ahead.
Good morning, Jeff. What's the latest on Jaland?
He's clear to be able to play tomorrow.
So you expect him to play?
Yes.
Did Brandon earn even more playing time even if Jaland does play in the game? I'm sure Jalen's not going to play 40 minutes.
Jaland will play tomorrow, and Brandon has earned more playing time.
Next question comes from Christopher Carter.
Good morning, Jeff. When you're looking back at what things you guys were able to do against Miami, we talked about things you guys did on offense. What aspects, as far as getting off-ball movement, how do you guys, as a coaching staff, get more of that from your players to create more opportunities and get that flow going faster for your offense?
Yeah, we have to pass the ball. We have to move with a purpose. We have to cut with a purpose. We have to have proper spacing. And then we have to be able to make reads in real time. We have to see what the defense is doing, specifically on ball screens, how they're playing them, and be able in real time to make decisions in real time.
Our next question comes from Stephen Thompson.
Hey Jeff, Ish's assist numbers have been up, especially over these past three games. Have you noticed him kind of take a step forward as a playmaker, and if so, how has that affected the rest of the offense?
Yeah, I just think he's passed more. I think he's, understanding that teams are really in gaps. They're playing him as if he won't pass. And he's done a better job the past few games of making those passes, getting off the basketball when there's a guy guarding him and maybe two guys in the gap, trying to see if he'll pass it. And so I think he's done a better job of that.
Our next question comes from Nathan Breisinger.
Coach, last time you guys played Syracuse, you were out rebounding by 17. Seems like the rebounding numbers have gotten better, at least the last couple of games. What do you need to see tomorrow night in terms of that category?
Yeah, we have to be a lot better than we were the last time we played them. Obviously, like you mentioned, they dominated us on the glass. A big reason was Lampkin. He had 20 rebounds and a lot of offensive rebounds. So we have to be able not just to put a body, but we have to pursue the basketball. We have to be quicker to 50-50 balls. If the ball's in the air, we have to jump to get it. We can't just stand and think the ball's going to fall in our hands. We have to pursue it with more urgency, and we certainly have to do a much better job than we did last game.
Christopher Carter.
Jeff, you've talked about how important Guillermo has been as a player, as a leader for you guys, in the tone that he sets. He didn't see as much time in this last game with the guys who were playing well. How did you see him take that, coming out of that game as you guys have practiced moving forward, and how has that kind of how has that kind of affected the balance of your team and what guys are able to contribute?
Yeah, he's been great. He's always great. He's been a team first guy since the first time he stepped on campus. I didn't go into the game anticipating that he wouldn't play as many minutes. It's just how the game worked out. We found a group, a combination that was working well together, and we just stuck with it. He's a guy that's really important for us. But I thought in that situation on Saturday, in that particular game, again, we found a group that was working, and I decided to stick with it. Yesterday, when we showed up for practice, he was terrific. And so, hopefully that leads to him and us playing well tomorrow.
Stephen Thompson.
Dame's obviously got his recovery to worry about first and foremost, but what can he bring to this team over this rest of the season while he's out?
Yeah, leadership. I mean, he's a voice that's very respected in the locker room with the players, with his teammates. He has experience as far as playing at a high level individually and being part of a high level team. And so there's some things that he can see and, help out with guys, specifically the younger guys, Amsel and Biba, who this is their first year playing college basketball. And he wants to do that. He's still an integral part of the team, although he won't be able to play.
Another question from Jim Hammett.
Jeff, when you play a guy like Lampkin, is it ideal to maybe try to get out in transition? And also with Amzal, it seems like he's always looking up. Can he help you in that regard?
As far as getting out in transition, that's something that we definitely want to do. But I've been really impressed with how Lampkin moves. For a guy that's that big, he's got great feet, great instincts. He plays. I don't know anything about him off the court in practice, but when I watch him on film and when we played them, I was really impressed with his spirit to play. Like, he seems like a really good teammate in the moment for those 40 minutes that they're out there. He's really engaged in the game. And he's not a pig where he's just trying to shoot it every time he touches it. He actually is a really good passer, and he's a really good competitor. And so I've been really, really impressed with that. As far as Amsel, we need him to play well. He played well the other day on Saturday. Again, I didn't know going into the game that he would play that many minutes, but he played well, and we decided to stick with him. Hopefully that leads to him continuing to play well for us.
Jerry, another question.
Jeff, with all the time that Damian has missed this year, the 2 injuries, is there any chance he has a year of eligibility he can get back?
I doubt it. I think he's played too many games. There's a certain percentage that you have to be under in order to get a red shirt, and I think he played too many games for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
We have time for maybe one more question for Coach Capel. Christopher Carter, last question.
Jeff, you talked about how you like that you guys' defense in the second half and what you guys were able to do against Miami. What parts of what you guys did do you have to channel to maintain that pace moving forward?
you have to have the basic fundamental discipline that we had. I thought we, number one, guarded the ball. That's the very first thing. We didn't get blown by just straight line drives. I thought we had good closeouts, and we understood who the shooters were and who the guys we could close out maybe a little bit short, who wanted to maybe drive it a little bit more. I thought our gap help and our early help was there. I thought our ball screen defense in the second half was the most connected that it's been. And then we did a good job of getting back in transition. Miami was a really good team in transition offense, as is Syracuse. So the basic fundamentals of defense, we have to do them at a very, very high level. We did that in the second half, and it's why, we were able to hold them under 40%.
Coach, thank you very